I'm in my kitchen because this is the best lighting we're getting right now, and I wanted to make a matcha and do a little book haul. Also going to be talking about some books that I'm currently loving on my Kindle Unlimited. Let's get started. Also, here's some noise in the background is because the dishwasher's going. We're gonna be making a matcha latte with the chamberlain coffee matcha. I haven't really been craving matcha lately, but I am today, so that's what we're gonna do. Be heating up some water. This guy listened to me a long time ago and I have no idea where it's from now. I'm gonna make a coconut matcha. I have no idea if that's gonna be good, but I do have all my stuff here. So let's make the matcha and then we're gonna get into talking about books, or maybe we're just gonna do it slowly. But I do need to scoop a little bit of this. I don't have a scooper, so we're just gonna eyeball it. That could be, I like my matcha kind of strong, so what I got is this one from my free little library. Also, let's just like normalize doing like a 5 to 6 book haul because it's economical. It's not supposed to be like super hot water, but I just don't really trust just drinking this without super hot water. That should be enough. Matcha is so long. That a little bit. It was from my free little library. It looks like a really old book, even though that's actually not correct. It came out in July of 2019, so it's about 4 to 5 months old. It says 6 months ago, writer and bookstore owner Maddie Hansen was left at the altar. Since then, she has zero interest in romance, even though she runs a book club full of sexy eligible bachelors. But when the named silver fox who accuses her of knowing nothing about passion, she decides to prove her nemesis wrong by seeking a romance hero in real life. Is he gonna be the love interest? I have no idea. Here's Mary Ann Marlowe, and this was an arc sent to someone in my free little library, so that's interesting. I'm thinking if I should add the coconut syrup to this. You know how when you make a latte, you're supposed to add the espresso into it? I cooled down for a bit. I think I might have talked about this book in another book video, but this is the flow plan. I think Lauren Sidney recommended this and I got it $1. It's pretty cute so far. 52 pages in, it says, since the loss of her fiance, Anna has been shipwrecked by grief until a reminder goes off about a trip that we're supposed to take together. Impulsively, Anna goes to sea in their sailboat, intending to complete the voyage alone. And I think there she meets a guy that's supposed to help her take the trip because she's not very savvy with the whole boat situation. So yeah, it's a pretty short book, like compared to all the other books I've shown you. This one looks a little shorter. I'm not kidding when I say that I literally broke the last glass cup that I own, so we're gonna have to get creative with the dishwasher's going, so I don't even know what I have. We're gonna use this. I'm supposed to add the ice and the milk first. I have no clue. I have been on a Trader Joe's kick, and I actually really like the almond milk. I heard that on Emma Chamberlain's podcast that she makes her own nut milk, and I'm kind of interested in that process. Maybe I'll get the machine. Alright, we got the ice here. I'm just letting everything essentially cool down before I start pouring it. And then I have Vampire Academy, which apparently is a pretty popular book series, and I just had no idea. I was more of a Twilight and Vampire Diaries girly, even though I never actually read the books. I did read some of Twilight actually, but this one, it's about the description of this book. This is what it says. Lisa, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a moral princess, a moral vampire with a rare gift for harnessing the earth's magic. Her best friend Rose had away. It's a dampier. I think those are like fantasy made up words. A guardian whose blood is powerful blend of vampire and human. Rose's life is dedicated to protecting Lisa from dangerous strigoi, the fiercest vampires who will stop at nothing to make Lisa one of them. You know, reading the description of fantasy books just never ceases to amaze me how silly some of this stuff are, but we like the silliness. I'm going to really see what I'm doing here. You can't see me. I'm just gonna do this. So I'm gonna put the ice in here. So I've been reading the Vampire Academy, and every single time I've posted it on my stories, everyone's like, oh my god, I love that series when I was in high school, or I love that series growing up. So I'm assuming it's an older series. Never heard of it, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't even think it's been talked about on my side of Book Talk that much. I've been kind of careful to say on my side of Book Talk because apparently there's a lot of different sides of Book Talk. My side of Book Talk, I have never heard mention of this series. Now I am because I looked it up, but that's mad. So this matcha could potentially be a fail. I'm a little scared. It's been a while since I made matcha. I might have overdone it. Time for the truth. This could be a very strong matcha. I'm not even kidding. Test. So it looks the right color. I like my matcha more on the watered down side. I'm literally making a mess right now. It does look a little bit more watered down than I like it to be, but let's just test it out before I judge it. It's interesting. Okay, that's actually a really good matcha. I could definitely be a barista. I'm enjoying this a little too much. But a thumbnail because the last one I had was kind of a fail. This is also kind of a fail. Okay, so the next 3 books that I have are kind of more interesting, I will say. Some might beg to differ. The Vampire Academy is pretty interesting, but just soon to tell. Book. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I think that's how you say that. I think this is part of that series. I never actually read the first book. I started it, but I wasn't a big reader back then, so I never actually finished it. But I think this is like after essentially everything sad goes down and she's in Paris and whatnot. And let's just do the description. Doesn't say what it's about. Okay, Clark, which is the main character in Me Before You, is no longer just an ordinary girl living an extraordinary life. After the transformative 6 months spent with Will Trainer, she's struggling without him when an extraordinary accident forces Luke to return home to her family. She can't help but feel she's right back where she started. So I guess she goes back home. She's not in Paris anymore. That shall be interesting. Then we have the 2 books that I got for Prime Day. I'm kind of in a book buying ban. I'm like on a massive book buying ban, but I can resist 2 books for like $18. That's a pretty good deal. So I got what I think is gonna be the first Ellen Hildebrand book that I'm gonna read, because I did get Golden Girls last year and I never actually read it. This is called 28 Summers. I don't think it's part of a series. It better not be. The description is so long. I don't know if I'm gonna get into that. I think it's some type of summer romance and it takes you through 28 summers. Let's just leave it at that. I kind of took a leap of faith here because if I'm totally honest, I'm not super into her last book that I'm actually reading right now. This is the same author that wrote The Summer of Broken Rose, Kate Walter, and she came out with a new book. I think she's a big Taylor Swift fan and I'm gonna support that. I mean, the book is literally purple and it's called What Happens After Midnight, and it was kind of announced around the same time when the Midnight albums came out. So this is what it says. Hopper has 2 more weeks until she's officially finished with boarding school. With graduation quickly approaching, Lily is worried that she somehow missed out on the fun of being in high school. So when she receives a mysterious note inviting her to join the anonymous class gesture and executing the end of year prank, Lily sees her chance to put her goody two-shoes reputation behind her. So I don't know. She writes YA romances, which I haven't really been in the mood for in the longest time, but we'll see if I get into this. I've been talking for quite a bit while showing you guys the books that I got, but I also wanted to take a moment to talk about some books that I have been loving on Kindle Unlimited. I have been, not only Kindle Unlimited, but just like on my Kindle in general. I have been Kindle a lot, which is kind of new for me. I go through phases. So a few things that I have downloaded on my Kindle right now are the following. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is not a book that's actually on Kindle or Kindle Unlimited, but I got it off of some website because everyone was talking about it on TikTok and I am currently obsessed. I'm talking about Manacled by San Yu. I think that's how you say her name. I could be wrong. It's called Manacle, which is it's not a retelling, but it's a fan fiction about what would have happened if Harry Potter would have died and Voldemort would have taken over in the war. And it's about Hermione and Draco Malfoy, and I'm unexpectedly very obsessed with it. Here's the cover over here. It's not even a published book, it's a fan fiction. I don't know how that works. Another one that I downloaded recently is Travis by Mia Sheridan. I came to realize that a lot of her books are actually on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm really interested in Travis. If I'm totally honest, I'm one of those only people who, when reading Archer's Voice, I actually didn't hate Travis that much. I feel like I kind of understood his motives at times, especially because Archer just annoyed the crap out of me. So yeah. Like I said, the exception of the rule, everyone seems to like Archer a lot. I didn't. I also downloaded Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. It's a very popular book right now, and if you didn't know, it's actually on Kindle Unlimited. I will say though, it's kind of disappointing that the Kindle Unlimited membership went from $9.99 to $11.99, but I still have it. Then I'm also reading The Last Mrs. Parrish, which Brooke Mishu actually recommended to me years ago when I filmed a video where I read YouTuber book recommendations. This was when I was entering BookTube and I wasn't really introduced to a lot of booktubers, so I just asked a bunch of really big YouTubers what they were reading at the moment, what were some books that they loved. Mishu was kind enough to send me some recommendations. I also downloaded Marriage for One. That's also free in Kindle Unlimited. And actually Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson is also on Kindle Unlimited. So I've been in kind of a fantasy kick lately, so I'm planning reading that. Reading fantasy books on my Kindle hasn't been super successful for me because I feel like I can't really pay attention to them, but I'll try it. And then lastly, this is a book that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about. It's called Call It What You Want by, I don't know how to say her name, Alyssa. This is also a Kindle Unlimited book that I've heard nothing about, right? So I'll give you guys my thoughts actually when I finish reading it. Pretty much everything for today's video. I'm just gonna try a new thing. This is one of those videos that when booktubers have literally nothing to talk about and haven't had time to film a reading vlog, this is what we do. So I hope that you enjoyed this little abstract, making a matcha, talking about book situation. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.